And welcome once again to another fantastic episode of Constructing New Walden City. I'm your host, Dr. Wasabi, and today we are in the shopping district, the business district, if you will. And there's a lot of changes around here, so I will be brief on the introductions. So what you may notice is that, Wasabi, where's Pip's Pizzeria? And that is a valid question, because Pip's Pizzeria used to be here. This entire bit used to be the pizzeria location. But here it is, on the other side of the road. So I was thinking, because this took up so much space over here, and there was so much unused space behind it, I thought it would be a really big missed opportunity, so to speak, if I didn't move it to the road and add some more networking in here, with a lovely curved road over here, so I can make these awesome storefronts as you see over here. I will give a little tour of these at the end of the episode, but that is not what we're doing today. Today we are doing this building here, which is much bigger than what we're seeing over here, and it is going to be a cinema. I have been watching some Fallout 3 videos, and there's this fantastic design for a cinema. I think it was called Cinema Fantastique. And although we won't be copying it block by block, we will be taking heavy inspiration from it in some of the design choices, that kind of Art Deco 50s cinema look with the revolving title cards, seeing what movies are on. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So the overall plan, I think, is I'm going to do something like a diagonal, because the original idea was this was going to be a skyscraper for a cake business. But I soon threw that out the window, because we've got all these kind of very leveled buildings. They've got the same kind of roof height, and then we've got this massive skyscraper. So I thought we'll kind of park that towards the side, and we'll do something else. And I was watching a lovely Fallout 3 video where they were showcasing the Fantastique Cinema. I think it was in Nexus Mods as well. Somebody made it into a lovely actual indoor cinema with a green screen where you could play movies. And I thought it was really neat, really imaginative. So that's what we're going to be doing today. It's going to be our own cinema, of course. We're not going to be copying on this server. It'll be our own design, but it will be inspired by some of the Fallout 3 themes and architectural styles that we've seen before. So we will have a diagonal wall over here, and then I think on top we'll have a rotating kind of circular title card reader. So it's a mixture of shapes. You've got the diagonals, we've got a half spherical design going on top of that. So I think it's going to be really good. And one thing I am looking forward to is making the big title card, well, not title card, but the cinema sign, because it's got to draw people in. So we're going to have really a lot of fun with glowstone and lighting and different colors, see what sticks. So I think without further ado, let's get on with our time lapse. And we are back after that time lapse, and let's see what we've done here. So I just love this kind of title card reader. It's just kind of, you can imagine it. It's moving across the sides, around the edge of the building, and back down here. I'd imagine it's on a rotor, and all these lights and glasses supposed to signify the signs. So I don't know, you might have some movies about communists or something, as as you would see in the Fallout universe. But I think this did really well. It does look a bit bulky, but I think compared to the support, it kind of levels out in a way. And I just love. It's almost Egyptian, I think, which I wasn't really expecting. I'm not gonna lie to you folks. I wasn't expecting this to come out the way it was with the blues and the sandstones, because I was kind of looking next to the buildings, and I think this is very important. That when you're making a building and you're deciding the color palette, you really need to look at the buildings next to it and say, would that look good next to it? And I kind of focused around here. And although we have used sandstone in places before, we haven't really used it against a bold color such as blue that we're doing here. And that will kind of fit in more to the high-tech Art Deco kind of styles that we will see throughout the city in future episodes, as you can see over there with the kind of cafe slash bar we're doing over there. It will become more apparent. And of course the lovely hotel over there, that's a high-tech architecture with a lovely pastel pink. So we have only done the front, the kind of front facade, so to speak. I have cleaned out the back area, and what I'm thinking is something along the lines of a underground cinema, so to speak, just so there's space to do it. So we'll have a kind of lobby where you can get snacks and refreshments and the drink stands. There's hundreds of movies and kind of film clips from the 50s and 60s of these lovely retro ads where it says, come go to the refreshment stand for hot dogs and burgers and stuff like that. So we'll put that in the interior here. But what we're going to focus on now is the kind of lone sign that we're going to put here. Now that is very important. Well, at least I think so. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same kind of design we did over here. So a kind of sandstone foundation, and then we're going to slowly build up. So how far away from the roof shall I make it? About 4, maybe. Oh no, I kind of want it to be next to this area. So how long is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We might as well make it just bordering the rim over here. So what we'll do is we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. And depending on what over here is going to bring, because this is going to be like a brick wall, some Art Deco features on here, but this is going to be the main kind of, I don't know, it might be a tower, it might be connected to the wall. I'm not entirely sure. But let's just let's just build up and see what happens. So of course we are going to put in the blue, like so. A lovely color combination, by the way, sandstone and blue concrete. Again, with any block like light blue wall and even the diamonds we used, it's such a good fit. Well, because they're kind of mirrored on the color table or the color wheel, I think. But in any case, they really look good together. So we're just gonna build this up all nice and dandy, like so. Oh, the sun's setting. We'll get into bed to snooze in just a second. And just to replicate what we've done down here, we'll do smooth sandstone slabs. And we'll just replicate that along. We don't need to do it all the way around, because of course it is hugging the rim over here, so we'll only carry it on until we meet the quartz rim over here. So I think it's time to sleep now. Is the sun nearing the horizon? Yes it is. Okay, right. Oh, I tell you what, that is a great shot for a thumbnail, folks. 1 second, let me clear this out of the way. Time for Wasabi to do some photography. Just clearing out these boundaries. That's really important, by the way. when you're doing boundaries for the buildings, it's better to remove them before you start going into the heavy building stuff, because otherwise it kind of gets left behind in the building itself. I found, and it is quite annoying to actually remove all the kind of boundaries in the red concrete that you may be making. Okay, right. 3, 2. Wait a minute. Yeah, here we go. 3, 2, 1, 0. Awesome. Right. Alright, we're done with Wasabi's photography lessons for now, so let's get back into normal mode. There we go. So, where were we? Yes, we were making the smooth sandstone slabs around the rim. And will we put in any polished basalt? I don't think so, if I'm going to be honest. That's more for the foundations, but what we're going to do around here is kind of apply some more cut sandstone over here as we kind of go in. Going to speak, and another layer of smooth sandstone slabs. All looking nice and good. Oh wait, no, we forgot to sleep. Oh, my apologies, folks. Snooze, snooze, snooze. Lovely jubbly. Okay, right. So we'll add the same design we did down here with the lovely light blue wall and the diamonds. Like so. So it'll be a short ring around here. So we're kind of going for a more artistic tower design rather than anything practical, which is what a lot of cinemas would do back in the old days. They'd make these fantastic facades to draw people in and to watch movies, because people didn't have the internet. They would go and see what was new, maybe an Alfred Hitchcock movie or something like that, or maybe a horror movie. Although in the 50s and 60s they were more goofy than scary, but how does that look? Bit more diamond. Like so. Oh, that's sandstone. Let's see, how does that look? Okay, that's looking good. Now, do we add one more? Nah. Let's just put another ring of sandstone across here. Now this is where the fun begins. And what we're going to be doing over here is adding a lovely, almost space age kind of ring around this kind of pillar that we're doing here. So we're going up, 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 and back down. Up and down, just like so. There we go, up and down like this. I often find that you can build up and down faster when you're doing this technique rather than side to side, especially for tall buildings like this when they're very thin but very tall. Of course, the same would apply if you're making something that's very wide, but not very tall, so to speak. But anyway, I'm blabbering on. Let's finish this tower and then we can add our rings. So a lot of Fallout's architecture is based on something called Googie or Atom Punk, where basically a lot of the shapes are, well, kind of centered around organic shapes like circles and squares and things like that. So we're going to make a ring around here. Just building up the quartz around here. And what we can do is maybe make something like a spaceship or a rocket taking off. Kind of draw people in. I think that'd be quite interesting. It kind of depends on the shape and what the colors we can add to it, because of course it is a blue kind of I wouldn't say yellow, more pastel skin kind of shade, I would say. So let's see what we can do. So maybe one more ring around here. How does that look? Very good, very good. And should we cut this off? Yeah, let's cut this bit off. Now, what can we do here? Maybe something like this. Oh, I tell you what we could do. Maybe have us as maybe like a fake antenna. Um, um, I don't know. Like, would a fake antenna work? We may as well find out. So if I just do this final design, it's kind of similar to the rings we did over here, but or final design over here. And then what we can do is add some copper, wax cut copper, as a kind of break in to a different material over here. And then what we can do is get out our stone brick, the same kind of roofing around here, and cover this over. It may be best to fill this up later because I don't want to cause lag on the server, so I'll do that off camera, but just for now we'll cover it up. So, oh, I've been getting those, the scary sounds. Scary sounds. Okay, so let's get our blocks of iron and do something like this. You know what, that looks good on its own, but let's just see how it would look with the antenna. How does this look? Like this, maybe? Perhaps. Let's see, we may have to go off by one here. How does that look? I'm gonna be honest, that doesn't look the best, but I did like what was happening with these 4 pillars, so I'll tell you what, let's get rid of this thing, would you go, and focus on these 4 little poles, so to speak. Oh, pardon me. So one thing we can do is give them a bit of texture, using that to kind of break up the monotony of the texture, because obviously these are iron, but we can break that up with some quartz over here and over here. We'll add some iron bars like so, so it's all nice and cool. And just for a special measure, we'll put the iron bars around here as well. Oh, pardon me. So the last step should be, in theory, to put the kind of tops on these poles. So what we'll do, we'll get ourselves some oak fences and some redstone torches. So I still want to give that effect that's transmitting something, perhaps a transmission, because a lot of people have been to Eden Meadow Cinema in Far Harbor, as well as Starlight Drive-In, where they have these signals kind of broadcasting to everyone, like, here's the showing, here's what we're going to be showing for our movie. I think that's quite an interesting feature, so we'll have that on top of there as a kind of signal transmitter on top of the cinema. But I gotta say, it's looking pretty good so far. I didn't want it to look too what was the word, I didn't want it to just be like a giant pillar on top of the foundation here. I think that looked quite boring, but I think I've been quite creative with what I've done here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the back to that building, and I'll see you after a short interval. Okay, we are back after that short interval, and I've added a little back onto our cinema of sorts. Nothing too fancy, because of course the main facade is the showcase here, and of course the back is just that, it's the back. So I've added some industrial connections to our little rim over here, just so it looks all nice and dandy. We may add some connections over here just make sure it doesn't look a bit too weird, because sometimes when you just have something strutting out at a right angle, it looks a bit joinky. It looks a bit weird. So we've added on the same roof design we have over here, but in a smaller, less noticeable degree. And I think it's really fortunate that our building lines up pretty accurately to the rest of the the floor designs and the height designs of the rooms and buildings next to us, which we will actually go into. So this one's a gym. This one's an apartment building. I just finished this one, so it's just empty interiors so far. You can see the the corridor next to that, and of course in here we have a little technological store. I believe we actually did go through this store last episode, I believe, or perhaps if we haven't, I'll make sure to tour it next episode. So that has been episode I think 26, I believe 26 of constructing New Walden City. I'm so glad that you just came around to watch my video. I'm honored. My heart has melted that you decided to come over and actually watch my video. If you like what I do live streams in the weekdays and uploads in the weekends. I do live streams, uploads, general tutorials, that kind of thing. So please like and subscribe if you do like my content. My name has been Dr. Wasabi. I want to say thank you for watching from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, good night, and of course, as always, God bless.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.